Rising, this is me and Big Sis
Hello.
with a new episode. This episode will be two-parters. We're talking about let's talk love and relationships. So this rising we'll be talking about love. Next rising we'll be talking about relationships. So we wanted to dabble in on that this rising. So Big Sis, would you like to kick it off with something about love?
One, have you gotten your sun today? If you're melanated, that's very important. You need to get sun 30 to 60 minutes a day. So throw that in there.
That's self-love right there.
Another thing that we're going to bring up in this is astrology because it's important. We're in the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is all about wisdom, knowledge, enlightenment, and inner self. So when we talk about love today, it's going to be talking about inner self and how much do you know yourself, not just questioning or some of the decisions that you made in your past. Do look at those because it's important. But how much do you know you when we start to talk about these things? And any questions that you have for self, write them down and go back and read over them and let the first mind, not the analytical mind, let the first mind give you the answer instead of the second mind. So with no further ado, go ahead and get this started.
Let's get this started. So let's start off by asking, what is love? What is love to you? Now, the generic definition of love is a feeling of warmth, joy, connection, and energy, a choice, whether it be to care, forgive, or grow, or a mirror to reflect us, to see us and others in a sense. But what does love?
Where did you find that definition, sis?
Oh, I was on Google since Googling all of this.
Yeah, I Googled it too. And the definitions that it came up with were many.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit upset.
Yeah.
Because an intense feeling of deep affection, and then it said something, a great interest and pleasure in something. So when I came across it, I was a little bit upset.
Why so, sis?
Because
in chat, GPT is you got that, right?
I have that love. I wanted a good definition, and I wanted to see what other people would be able to see if they looked it up.
Oh, okay.
It brought me some misunderstanding because love and affection is affection.
Yeah. I think that's like a love language, though, in a sense. Affection, right?
So let's keep going, and we'll continue to talk about that because I feel like love is subjective. I feel like if you attach another word to love and that word is unattached, then there's no love there. So that's why I was asking, but keep going. I just wanted to see what was where we were
at. Oh, okay. Well, we're kind of still on the same thing in a boat, but we're going to also talk about, because we were talking about conditional versus unconditional love. We was talking about that as well. So conditional love, to me, conditional love is almost as if it's an exchange of something, or it could be a cultural dynamic. There's so many things that are conditional love to me. It seems to be, it doesn't seem as if it's something that one would want to cherish with another person or build on something like that. I just more so feel like it's just like a transaction type of thing.
Right. So before I jump to unconditional love, I want to definitely talk about what love means to you. So take some time to figure out what love means to you. I've talked to multiple people about love and what love meant to them. And and I can think about my relationships and during those times what love meant to me. We first encounter love in our home situation. You see, when we see love, we think that what we see around our home is love. And it doesn't mean that It could be positive in some areas and it can be very negative in other areas. And so what you should decipher is go back into your mental Rolodex and pull up what love looked like to you as you were growing up as a child. And then look at what love looked like in your relationships and if they mirrored each other. Because sometimes, no, not even sometimes, most of the time, if not all of the time, the way we decipher love is by what we saw or what was going on around us. These are also actions and emotions are not something a lot of us talk about because we're still trying to learn how to unravel what emotions are and how we deal with them as a person, as an individual. Now, I understand that in the spiritual world, there is people who can tell you how to deal with each emotion, but I can't tell you how to deal with your emotions because I'm not you, I'm me. But what I can do is tell you to sit and understand your emotions and get some understanding for yourself. As for love, love comes in many different demographic type situations. Like we said, it's an intense compassion or affection for something, but that's also under lust.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
When you first meet somebody, if their avatar is the way you want it to look and they have what you display, you go for the glitter instead of finding out if the glitter actually has gold inside of it, you see? And so love is a very complicated situation for most of us because we're not really taught how to go out there and decipher self to find that one person that's going to fit. So we're taught more lust in our lives than we're taught actual love. And so my understanding to love would be pure, unconditional, no conditions.
Time is limitless. It is limitless.
Yes, it's, well, I won't say limitless. And the reason why I don't say limitless is because it's still subjective.
Yeah, okay. Well,
it's still subjective. We fall in and out of love. But why? Why do we fall in and out of love? Because our love had something attached to it. Whether it was youthful looks or well-calculated body, affection sometimes, what else? There's so many. Submission. There's so many different things that people attach to love. And love, I want to show what I'm actually saying, just in case. If we have love, and love is in the bubble, love, okay? And then we take and we attach affection here, submission here, body type here, hair type here. You see, what happens if you lose these things? Then you find that the love is gone. Men, women, they start looking the other way. Money, when money gets tight, it tears down love, because what we're not understanding is that each one of us goes through cycles of our own. And to bring somebody else into that cycle, we need some type of benefit, or we feel like we need some type of benefit from it. And that's when you get conditional versus unconditional love.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. That's why I also feel you would have to fully understand the love within yourself so you could be able to share that love.
It's the only way to be able to do it, but we've got to get people to know thyself. And the better you know yourself, and this is where the astrology comes in. What's your sun sign? Because your sun sign with this one person, they may mesh. And then you get to your Mercury and you might have balance there, And then you get to your Venus, which is how you love and those and you know, that type of situation, and you might be off balance. Okay, you might have already become in a really sound relationship with this person, and the courtship wasn't long before you started sleeping together, and then now you have all these emotions wrapped around your understanding of love, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to deal with it because your person is starting to show their true
colors,
and you're starting to come into your true self, or an understood self, and you're not understanding how to go and find out what your Venus is and see if they're sound or if they're not. And if they're not, there are ways for you to be able to learn each other's love language if you don't know, to keep the spark going, to be able to understand why this person is doing some of the things that they're doing. Like you said, affection could be somebody's love language. Some people need to be touched all the time. And if you're not one of those touchy-feely, all over me type people, that could be overwhelming. In the beginning, it's great because you want to get to know this person and you're lusting over this person. But every day, some of us can't do all over me all day, every day. For some of us, that's a bit much. Some of us are just communicators. Let's just communicate with each other.
That's definitely true. So what do you feel in your aspects is, what is conditional love?
Conditional love is anything that's attached to your love. That's conditional. Most love is conditional. Yeah, most love is conditional. Most of us have some type of conditions with our love. We start out young, dating, or dating, because it's not courting. It's dating. We move really fast in the relationship without getting to know each other. And then from that movement of moving fast, we're starting to jump into different things. Sometimes babies pop up and we don't really know each other well because we didn't ask sound questions. But you could have been somebody who asked a sound question. And the other person didn't know themselves, so you answered that question per yourself. But the other person may not know themselves as well, so they didn't take heed of what was said. What was said.
Got you. But that is also the opposite of conditional love. And I love how you said it was pure, because that's how I feel about self, and that's how you have to feel about self. Have that unconditional love in self. So not limited by any conditions. It says absolute as well. That was the definition that I looked up for that. But mine is pure, and for me, my love for myself is timeless. There's nothing I could attach to it to say that it is love, because I love me regardless of my flaws, regardless of my light and everything. I love my dark and I love my light. And I believe that's where it has to start too, sis. When you have that unconditional love both aspects of yourself. What do you think about that?
I mean, you can't expect somebody to love you the way you want to be loved if you don't love yourself. So a practice that I tell a lot of people is, every time you see your reflection in the window, in a mirror, in something, say it's somebody behind the mirror or the window and you don't want them to see, so energetically in your head tell yourself, I love you. If you see yourself in a mirror and nobody's around and you're comfortable, then tell yourself you love yourself, but mean it. Don't just do these things because I want to superficially be or get an understanding of self. If we do it in a superficial manner, then we're never going to be able to understand true love for self. Look over yourself. The flaws that you have, learn to love them. You know, if you got, you know, it's okay. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to be perfectly imperfect, because we all are. Trust and believe we all are perfectly imperfect. And what it's time for us to do is start embracing our imperfections in the age of Aquarius, instead of embracing what's perfect about us. we can all look over our bodies and say what's not perfect. Oh, my teeth ain't straight. Oh, my nose is too big. Oh, I don't have high cheekbones. Oh, I have too this. We can tear ourselves down, but we have to build ourselves up. The more you love yourself, the more you start to understand what self-love feels like, or what love itself feels like. And then you don't have to push your love on anybody.
It'll attract to you.
So then your love is truly unconditional. And if somebody poses a situation to you that you know you're not, or your dark side, because me and my dark side, we walk hand in hand all the time. And I let people know I could be just as light as I can be dark, and that's just who I am. If you push me to that point, I'm going to be dark. But when you are sitting with somebody and you're talking and you're getting to know each other and you're courting and you're doing all these things, you want to see their dark side, because you have to know if your love and who you are can handle that situation.
Yeah, it goes back to that thing you were sharing with me, sis, the first argument. That's when it really tests the relationship. And I love that analogy that you use.
Not the first argument, the first big argument. Oh. That's going to test the relationship right there. Because are we going to stand back and curse and reach deep and call each other names and say very hurtful things to put slivers of fractures in the foundation of our relationship from the beginning? You know, that honeymoon stage is, I'm getting to know you, you know, I want to be around you all the time. Yeah. I want to suffocate you. I want you to suffocate me. And that's the honeymoon stage. When that's over, that's when that mask comes off.
Yeah.
And then that's when the next one is presented. Can you handle that?
Yeah, know what you're dealing with. I love that analogy.
But you get the choice.
You do. And I do feel like some relationships, when it gets to that aspect, that's when you really see the cracks. That's when you really are tested in that relationship. Are you going to withstand that, or are you going to stand solid and say, look, we got this? And sis, do you also feel that a lot of this is, because I was looking up conditional love versus unconditional love when it comes to the emotions and the behavior, and I got it to thinking, is this based off emotional intelligence? Do you think that has a lot to do?
No, you can be emotionally intelligent and still blow up on somebody, especially if you're being emotionally intelligent and telling them to, look, leave me alone, give me some time. And if you have somebody who is, you know, I need to be heard, I need this to be heard, not right now, it's time for you to sit down and think, because
now that person to me would be that person that may not have that emotional intelligence, right? To say like, so, one person is like, hey, look, I done told you, I just want to, can we just cool off and walk away for a bit? But then you got that one who just, I want to talk now.
Depends on where their Mercury is.
Okay.
It depends on, at that point, it depends on where their Mercury sits, because some people need to be heard. And it's not just their emotion, it's also where their planet sits. And once they understand where their planetary alignments sit at, then they can then understand, why do I push to be heard? Why do I need to have this feel that I need to be the person that needs to be heard? So it's not just emotional intelligence, it's also knowing yourself and the planets that are governing certain areas. And it could be, you could have emotional intelligence and your planet is doing something weird out there. And at this point in time, you just need to be heard. And in your head, you're saying, sit down, calm down, it's okay. Yeah. But like during a Mercury retrograde, where Mercury looks like it's spinning backwards because it's in alignment with Earth, there's a lot of stuttering. I'm saying a lot of ums. There's communication issues. So at that point, it could be a multitude of things. You just have to understand you. That's why I would tell people, if you're going to get involved in a relationship, make sure that there's no conditions. And I get it in the beginning, there are always some conditions. I'm intrigued. You see what I'm saying? You're a nice looking person, or your communication is right on point. Okay, so that drew me in. But then once I see that one or two aspects of what it is, I look at your planets. Because once I see where your planets sit, I could say, okay, yeah, I could give this a try. Or I could say, nah, we just gonna be friends.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't have to have the glitter, because I know at the end of this rodeo ride, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel you, sis.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm being a realist.
I love it. I love it because I feel you. I feel you. That's the Aquarius way.
I mean,
okay. So next thing I wanted to ask is, when it comes to our egos, we should definitely know our egos when it comes to love in that aspect. What do you think of that term?
Well, you meet a person with their ego first. We came out of the Piscean age, which taught you your first impression on somebody is the lasting impression, and I don't think so. Because of that, we come in with this full-blown character that may not be us,
right?
Especially if we're truly attracted to somebody. And so your first impression, I might meet you in the first sitting and decide that no, there's something about this person that's not rubbing me the right way.
Right.
And I'll keep giving you different encounters until you actually show me that person that I'm seeing, or you don't.
Shame. I feel you. I feel you on that, but yeah. I had something else to say. I'm so giddy today. I feel so grounded and earthy today. And when I feel that way, my playful side comes out.
Well, yeah, because we're getting ready to, what, the moon is going into Virgo? Of course you do.
It's Aquarius.
No, the full moon.
Full moon. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about just the moon itself is moving into Virgo.
Okay. Oh, well, tonight?
The moon moves. Often.
Well, I know
we usually track the full moon and the new moon.
I wasn't sure which one it was in, the zodiac sign. So
right now it's in Virgo.
Okay, so
it's not full, but and it's not new. But yes, that's what I was saying. It's in one of your signs.
And I'm wearing green. So I feel giddy, but yes. And another thing, our egos. I know people look at it as in a negative sense. Our ego is not necessarily a negative thing. Our ego is here for a certain purpose. And from what I understand, our ego is actually here to protect us. But sometimes when we were talking about it, sis, when we don't fully understand ourselves or we haven't done the healing work needed, we probably wouldn't be able to see that the ego is actually protecting us.
Actually, we flex our ego every time we say we're Aquarius.
Right. True.
Okay, so that's an ego.
Yeah.
Your sun sign is your ego. Understand who it is. Understand what it's for. It's for protection, but a lot of the protection is old and outdated. So when you feel that you need to rah at somebody because they're not doing what you want them to do, check your ego. Because they're not you, they're them. And this is something that we have to learn. We have to be able to co-inhabitate on this earth with everybody's egos. And although some of us do have, we do have people that are in our same zodiac sign, it doesn't mean that their ego looks like ours. You've got the ego and you got the emotions that come behind it. So just knowing that your ego is supposed to serve a purpose, but the ego was supposed to help us when we lived in an area where we were always on defense. We're not always on defense anymore. So understand that your ego is a part of your personality that you do need, but you don't have to flex it like we've seen a lot of the older generations flex it. Seen, not heard, don't speak, do this, don't do that. Why is that person wearing this? Have you ever thought maybe that person wants to wear that? And you're not clothing them. So why should you make a comment as to what they're wearing and who they're wearing it for?
Well, I say, sis, they want to wear it too. But they probably couldn't pull it off.
Well, I always say people judge people based off of who they are or not based off of who the person is. So people tell on themselves when they start placing judgment. But I mean, your ego is a part of you. It's going to always be a part of you. Start to love it, understand it. It's also a part of your shadow side. So the more you understand your shadow side, the more you'll understand and be able to control your ego as well.
And the more you can walk hand in hand with it every single day.
Yeah.
Now, sis, do you think that there is a difference between how people love at a low vibrational state versus a high vibration?
No, love is not low vibrational.
No, saying like their frame of mind.
So love is not low vibrational. When I say that, I say this. If you are on a low vibrational level and you're loving on a low vibrational level, then you got attachments connected to that love, and that's what makes it love to you. It's not what makes it love in general. Love is your highest frequency. So when you open up your heart and you actually say that I love somebody, that's when we see the sprung. You must be sprung, because you won't leave somebody who other people deem as not good for you. Now, to caveat that, if you're in an abusive, toxic relationship, that's not love. That's abuse and toxicity. And a lot of us live in toxic relationships. That's not love. That's toxic. Abuse, nobody should take any form of abuse, mental or physical. That should never be accepted. And at that point, you should flex your ego, your emotions, and everything and leave. But if you feel like you're drawn to that person, then what I implore that you do is find out if this relationship is karmic and there's something you need to learn from it. Learn it as quickly as possible in your head and leave. But I can't be the one to tell people how to maneuver their relationships. But what I will say is love is the highest frequency. It should not be manipulated. And that's what some of these lower vibration manipulation is not love. If you had to manipulate somebody to be with you, that's not love. That's lust or infatuation. It could also turn into an obsession, and it can become dangerous. So these are things that you have to understand, and you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why? Question everything. If you question everything, you'll get an answer. It doesn't have to be from us. It doesn't have to be from people. You can energetically get an answer, and I'll give you something that you can do to help you with that.
Well, that's pretty much all I have as far as ego, but I do want us to share with the audiences how is love displayed in our household. That's if you want to share, sis. And how do you display love?
Oh, you go first.
Okay.
First, what I want you to do is, do you know what your Venus sits in?
My Venus is Capricorn.
Okay, so her Venus sits in Capricorn, her sun sign is in Aquarius, and your Mercury sits in Capricorn. So she's an Aquarius with Capricorn placements, okay? I want you to know this so that you can kind of listen for what she says versus what I say. So go.
Okay, so far as love being displayed in my household, I never really saw it as much because my mom wasn't home quite often, but when she was, the love that she did display for us was talking to us, helping us to understand what's going on. You know, we got some hugs here. You know, I know everybody doesn't have affection as a love language, but that was something that I considered as love growing up. My mom is a Cancer, so she was very nurturing when she was here, but when she wasn't, you know, love wasn't really displayed after that. It was more so a lot of miscommunication, a lot of yelling. So how I display love by effective communication and understandings, growing together, having that quality time, not just with myself, but with my daughter, continuing to learn each other as we continue to grow. That's another way I display love. I love to get out there and be a kid with my daughter forever and always. She always bring out the kid in me. So when I'm showing my love as a kid, she gets to see mommy as her best friend. So that's another way that I display love. Emotional maturity is another one. Intelligent conversations. I love intellectual conversations, things that stimulate my mind, encouragement and empowerment. I can go on and on and on how I display love, but these are things that I actually do on a daily basis. So that's my take.
Okay. Let's see. My sun sign is Aquarius. My Mercury is Aquarius. And my Venus is Aquarius. So I love very Aquarius-like. I'm here one minute, I'm gone the next. I want to see you today. I might not want to see you tomorrow. It just depends. So over the years, my love has changed. I am very loyal. So if I deem myself to love you, I love you and all of you until I find that I don't understand certain things. And if those certain things impede in my life strong and start to cause conflict in my life, then it starts to cause me stress and struggle over here. I don't like for I don't really like for my life to be, my emotions sit in Capricorn, okay? So that is where my emotions are grounded. But I really don't like for one person's life to affect somebody else's life. And so love in my home was subjective. I think we've all seen it. It was there. I don't even know how to explain it. I felt I was loved. I don't felt like I missed anything as a child. Okay. Was there some stuff that went on in the house? Yes. But did I ever feel like somebody didn't love me? No. But I'm an Aquarius, so and as you can see, I have Aquarius in a lot of placements, and because of that, it really never affected me. As long as emotions in the house kind of stayed like this, whether you hugged me or kissed me or did whatever, it really didn't matter. As long as it wasn't excessive, a hug here, okay, when I was raising my kids, I was not as affectionate as I maybe should have been, but I feel like love should be something that you can feel. I don't feel like I should always have to validate my love for you. And this is where a lot of people get misunderstood. Now, when you find that one connection that's really strong, I don't need validation every day, but every now and again, it's pretty good for us to say, hey, we love each other, this or that or the other. It just depends on what's going on at the time. But most of the time, I'm not over analyzing if you love me or not. I feel like if you're cheating and you didn't give me the chance to cheat too, then, and I'm not lying, I really feel like you've done me a disservice. It's not that you betrayed me, it's that I could have been doing what you're doing, and we don't have to be loyal. We can have an open relationship if that's what you want.
Right.
But if I skate off and leave and don't come back, you got to understand why. So relationships for me is flow. I love you. I'm going to trust that you love me. And yes, every now and again, we can do these things. Sometimes I need, depending on the other person's elements, will decide on if I need to take a break from them. And I didn't learn these things. I got married at 19, and me and my husband at the time, we did everything together. We went to the grocery store together. We went to the shopettes together. We went everywhere together. If you've seen him, you've seen me. If you see me, you've seen him. And then I got to a point where I felt smothered.
Yeah.
And I started saying I need a break.
I get that.
And so when it came down to, most women wouldn't want their men to go off to Vegas and spend time with their friends in Vegas. And me, I'm telling them, go spend time with your friends. Please go spend time with your friends. I needed a break. And I didn't know why I needed a break.
Yeah, I feel that.
But now I know with my Venus in Aquarius, we need breaks. We need breaks. We need to, and so this was actually me not understanding this part of me ultimately ended to a divorce years down the line, because not only did I need a break, but because my moon sits in Capricorn, I'm very strict with some of the things that I do that affects my emotions. I don't like for my emotions to peak too high and too low. I like for them to pretty much stay here. A little riffle is okay. Too many peaks and valleys, I'm having a problem. And so that's what I found out. And lies, very Aquarius. I don't like lies, and I can see through them. I didn't know I was a lie detector. But yeah, I've been through relationship issues, conflicts, issues, whatever you want to understand, because I didn't know me. You know, I thought because this person was doing all these different things for me that my parents were giving me a hard time with, this is love.
Right.
So, like, love at first sight was not something I believed in.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, just these things. And I've been through each one of them.
You have a story to tell, no? Sis.
I've been through each one. So knowing yourself is very pertinent to this situation, because now that I know I need breaks, it's something else I can tell the person that's sitting here, hey, look, I'm going to lay all my cards out on the table and tell you who I am from top to bottom. I might have some little things missing because I haven't figured those out yet. But for the most part, I know me, and I can lay it all out on the table. And if you know you, one, you're going to say, okay, I can deal with this. I can't deal with this. I can deal with this. I can't deal with this. I can deal with this. Okay. Me, I am a total individual, and I like to be the individual. I don't want to do you. I want to do me. So, yeah, I mean, it takes you a while to get there. If you don't know, and you have to find out these things, you know, why have I been in two failed relationships when I really, really, really cared about each one, but the first one had conditions. I know that. I know the first one was all built off of a condition. You're doing for me these things that I'm not doing for myself, or I can't do for myself. And my parents aren't really helping me, you know, navigate. So maybe you do love me.
Right.
So he asked, and I said yes, because that's what I thought. I didn't know that love, you know, was anything other than.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love your story, sis.
Man, they get long.
So in this term, it's always best to understand how you love, and how you love in that aspect is also where you can understand your love language as well too. So knowing that, basically you're letting your partner know, hey, this is who I am, this is what I am. If this is what you like, if this is what you don't like, you know, I understand it. We gotta respect and understand each other, how we love in that aspect. Everybody loves different. Nobody loves wrong.
Nope.
I know we were also talking about the meaning of sex and marriage. I wanted to end it off with that too.
Well, we can talk about that in relationships, because that's part of a relationship situation. But what I do want to say is this: if you're uncertain about who your partner is verbally when they tell you birth date, birth time, birthplace, you can find their birth placements, okay? And then there are people like me and that do human design and astrology, and they can put it in and see where you all are compatible and where there's a disconnect. That disconnect is what you all can strengthen. So when people say I'm going to a counselor or a psychiatrist for X, Y, and Z in our relationship, a psychiatrist or a counselor is only going to be able to give you information based off of what you tell them, okay? But if you deal with somebody who does astrological aspects, they can look at your aspects and look at the other person's aspects, and they can give you understanding on how these two are not, how they're not seeing eye to eye, but they can also give you relationship building exercises to help strengthen those, where there's still going to be like a soft spot in the relationship. You'll still be able to understand that. Understanding if you want to do some things on your own, you can also understand the elements: fire, earth, air, water. Those are the 4 elements in the zodiac sign. I will. Those are the 4 zodiac or elements in the zodiac sign. Of course, Aquarius is air, Capricorn is earth, Virgo is earth, Aries is Leo is fire, and then you've got your Pisces and Cancers, that's water. I didn't name all of them, but you'll know when you start looking it up. And there's a great book to get you started on your journey, The Missing Elements. This is by Deborah Silverman. I purchased this book. It came in this morning. I woke up and I got it. It was on time.
Oh, I see you got pictures too, like you said.
Yes, it's an easy read book. I have not read it. I started reading like the very first couple pages, but I also went on her YouTube and started listening to her describe the elements. And I was laughing the whole ride, because she talks about air signs. We're airy. We forget things. We remember things later. We misplace things. We talk a lot. We talk a lot. Where when you get into your Aquarius signs, we're very up in, like, I had one guy while I was working with this guy, and he told me, he was like, you have a mind like, what did he say?
Like an Aquarius?
No. He told me, he was like, you talk about things people don't really want to talk about.
Like taboo things, yeah.
No, not taboo. It was more or less like, he called me a piehead. He was like, because you talk about things nobody really wants to talk about. And at that time, and this time, and any other time, I'm always talking about the planets, the way they move, those aspects of the planets, understanding those, because I've always said, of course, I'm an Aquarius, and at this time I didn't understand that, but I knew those planets weren't out there being ornaments for Christmas.
Yeah.
And because he couldn't wrap his head around the things I was talking about, it was, you're a stoner. You must be a stoner. And at the time, that wasn't something that we could do, but he didn't know beforehand I had been. And I mean, of course, look at me, I've got my little, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. He did. But what people aren't understanding is if I sit up here and I ask you a question and you tell me you don't know, all I need for you to do, if you don't know yourself in that aspect, all I need to do is look at your planets.
That's it.
People say, oh, that's not, I don't believe in that type of stuff. Cool, you don't have to. I do. And I know that even in the Bible, the 3 wise men found Jesus based off the planetary movements and the aspects of that. That's why during that age, it became the age of the fish, because it was the Piscean age. And the symbol of that age was Jesus. He was the symbol of the Piscean era. Cool. But we're not there no more. We're not in Pisces.
Yeah.
We're in Aquarius
now.
And so you all need to understand what that means for you and your intellect. Because when you come up against somebody who's understanding, they're just going to be like, oh, okay, and they're going to walk away. They may or may not say nothing, but they know what you do and what you don't know.
I say, sis. I say, oh.
So check out this book. Also check her out on YouTube. Deborah Silverman. She does astrology. She has been doing astrology for a while. I have been watching her, and I find that a lot of the things that she says, if not anything, it's interesting, intellectual, and she's an air sign too, or she has air sign capabilities. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Shay. Well, we got us a book recommendation and a YouTube channel, and well, that's 2 hours too, so let's not forget that part. But that's all for us this rising. Come back with us next rising. We're going to be talking about Let's Talk Relationships. And sis, is there anything, one last thing you have to say for family?
Sit down with yourself and decipher Even if you have to talk to yourself, for you water signs that have a lot of water placements that stay crept up and bottled up inside, speak out loud and do what sis says, journal, because that's what you need. And journal, what does love mean to you? Date it so that when that idea of you changes, and you get to know yourself even more, you can see what you saw in the past versus what you see in the now. Because remember, our past we can't fix it, but we shouldn't want to. We can learn from it. Our past is for us to learn from. So go back and see the difference and keep moving forward in your life. We'll get to love. We just have to understand no attachments. Love is completely detached from everything except for what love is, and that's just it. Love.
Ashe family. And she said journal. I do have some journal prompts, and she said one of them, what does love mean to you? And find out what does it look like to you. These are journal prompts. The other one, what is your understanding of marriage? Let's save that for the relationship aspect, because we're talking about relationship next rising. So another one, what does love mean to you and what does it look like to you? I know I just said that too. Here we go.
What does unconditional and conditional love look like to you? You can do that one because that's very important so you can see the difference.
Okay. Some of these are relationships.
What is your love language?
There we go.
How do you like to display love? Because the way you like to display love is the way you're going to show it. It's not the way you're going to always receive it, because you're going to have to understand your partner's love language and they're going to display that to you.
Yeah, and I also put that how was love displayed to you in your family as well? How did it display to you, and then did it mirror in your adult years as well? But sis got all the journal prompts for you, so make sure you write these down to self, and we will see you tomorrow next Rising, talking about relationships. Until then, find your light and fix your crown. Peace, family.
Don't forget to get that sun.
Like, share, and subscribe. Oh my God, I got that.